This video was recorded with the AverMedia Live Gamer Portable. Skip it up and that up! So with the new consoles from Sony and Microsoft around the corner, the console wars are like at an all-time high. I thought maybe they would have calmed down like I said in other videos, but no, it seems that the console wars are going to go on and be stronger than ever. But James Rubin, the co-founder of Naughty Dog and the former president of THQ before they went belly up, shares his thoughts on the differences in hardware between the Xbox One and PS4, and this is what he had to say. So keep in mind, these are his responses on Twitter. Twitter user by the name of Nova asked him, "Do you have any takeaways from a developer's honest standpoint? Can you get more or less from PS4 hardware versus Xbox One's hardware specs?" And this is what he said back. Once drove a racetrack in mom van with a pro driver, then couldn't beat his time driving a Ferrari. It's the driver, not the car, which is, to a point, very true. You have a good development team, they could do magic with limited hardware. It doesn't always matter how powerful the hardware is. If the development team is talented, they're going to make great games. If the development team sucks, the games are going to look and play like shit. It's that simple. Now, he was also asked by Twitter user Nova this, just for clarification, would you be implying one is weaker in theorem, yet its success is not contingent upon such things? He's talking about it's not contingent upon how powerful the hardware is. This is what Jason Rubin replied with. It's about the business model, indie inclusion, which that's a huge thing. Price, another huge thing as we're seeing already. Online services, community, exclusive titles, etc. may matter. The chips won't. I pretty much agree with them. I mean, obviously, if the Xbox One was that far behind, yeah, developers may not make a game for it, but I don't think it is. You know, it's going to be about the overall experience, like it always has been. You know, I mean, history has proven over and over and over again, it's not about the most powerful hardware. It's about what games there are, which system is the most affordable, which system offers the best experience overall. And it's just been proven time and time and time again. Now, on the flip side, you know, if there is a big enough gap, like I've said before, later in the life of the consoles, maybe we'll see an exclusive for the PS4 that can't be in the Xbox One just because it won't run properly, or they may have to make a cut down version. But we may never see that. Say even like, for example, a couple years from now, there's 40 million PS4s and 28 million Xbox Ones. That's still a lot. That's still a big install base. Do you think a company or a developer is going to say, we're not going to make the game for the Xbox One because, you know, it's not in first place? No, what they'll do is they'll make the game for the lowest common denominator, and, you know, they'll just make it run on both systems and it'll look identical. Now, it's funny hearing Jason Rubin talk about chips don't matter, because when people talk about the Wii U, the chips definitely matter. Now, I understand the Wii U seems on paper to be significantly behind the PS4 and Xbox One. But it's going to be interesting to see when all three systems are out in the market for a while, what happens if the Wii U, well, it already is missing out on third-party games, but if it continues to, even as its install base gets bigger. Now, obviously, the Wii U only has 1 gigabyte of DDR3 to work with. The other gigabyte is for the operating system, and the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One have 8 gigabytes to work with, and 1 gigabyte on the PS4 is for the operating system, and 3 gigabytes is for the multiple operating systems on the Xbox One. So obviously they have more memory. But as a guy who comes from computers and gaming PCs, I could tell you one thing. You could have a 6770. Obviously the chipset, at least in the PS4, the GPU in there is more powerful than the 6770, but you could have a 6770 with 4 gigabytes of RAM. All you're going to have is a really high detailed slideshow, because even though it has the frame buffer size, it has the huge 4 gigabytes frame buffer on it, the processor, the graphics processor, isn't fast enough to handle all that high resolution gaming. So yeah, okay, they have more memory, the PS4 and Xbox One, than the Wii U, but are they that much more powerful that they're going to be able to handle high def full 1080p gaming with high resolutions and you'd be that much ahead of the Wii U? They may very well be. I'm not trying to defend the Wii U, but I would love to see a developer a very talented developer have all 3 dev kits in front of him and utilize the shit, squeeze every ounce of power out of the Wii U, PS4, and Xbox One, and see if there's that much of a jump from the Wii U to Sony and Microsoft's consoles. It would be very interesting to see. This is going to be a damn interesting generation, man. I'm going to be very curious to see what happens with the big 3, like 3.5 years from now. So put on your seatbelt. It's going to be a hell of a ride. Anyway, folks, make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And if you have an interesting news story you would like me to discuss, private message me with a link via YouTube. And if I use your news article, I will give you a shout out in the video and feature your YouTube channel in the description. Have a good one.